All right. Are we ready? Are we ready? I think we're ready. And if you haven't been around for the first, I believe, 2 parts, it's basically Carmilla's basically a vampire story. It's a vampire story. It was actually written before Dracula, and that's my little fun little tidbit there. And it has to do a heckin' lot with manipulation of the vampire kind, and not the best, not the most representative of a healthy relationship. Obviously she's a vampire, she's a predator. So yeah, I have too. I've really been enjoying it too. So ready? Heck yeah. What's the word? Upire? It basically means vampire, isn't it? Doesn't it? Even though I never heard of it. Yeah, me same. Like I said, I found this book just on a whim and was like, "Oh. Okay." Okay. Yeah, some good old obsession and possessiveness. Yeah, basically. Pretty much. Okay, let's see. We are on chapter 12. A petition. It was like Romanian demon vampire before vampire was the colloquially agreed upon word. Yeah, exactly. Okay. A petition, chapter 12. Then we are to lose Madame la Comtesse, but I hope only for a few hours, I said with a low bow. It may be that only, or it may be a few weeks. It was very unlucky his speaking to me just now, as he did. Do you now know me? I assured her I did not. Thank you for the lyric, Nikki. You shall know me, she said, but not at present. We are older and better friends than, perhaps, you suspect. I cannot yet declare myself. I shall in 3 weeks pass your beautiful Schloss, which means castle, about which I have been making inquiries. I shall then look in upon you for an hour or two, and renew a friendship which I never think of without 1,000 pleasant recollections. This moment a piece of news has reached me like a thunderbolt. I must set out now, and travel by a devious route, nearly 100 miles, with all the dispatch I can possibly make. My perplexities multiply. I am only deterred by the compulsory reserve I practice as to my name from making a very singular request of you. My poor child has not quite recovered her strength. Her horse fell with her at a hunt to which she had ridden out to witness. Her nerves have not yet recovered the shock, and our physician says that she must on no account exert herself for some time to come. We came here, in consequence, by very easy stages, hardly 6 leagues a day. I must now travel day and night on a mission of life and death, a mission the critical and momentous nature of which I shall be able to explain to you when we meet, as I hope we shall, in a few weeks without the necessity of any concealment. Flame, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Hearing somebody give their story of what brought them there, I believe so. Let me look, because I don't remember. Because it has been a whole week. But yeah, I do believe we're getting... Can't promise I'll be around a lot, but I like the vibe. No, absolutely. Okay. But yeah, we're getting a recounting from someone. Something about their own kid being very sick too. Yeah, I think so. I think so. She went on to make her petition, and it was in the tone of a person from whom such a request amounted to conferring, rather than seeking a favor. This was only in manner, and, as it seemed, quite unconsciously. Then the terms in which it was expressed, nothing could be more deprecatory. Deprecatory? I think I said that right. It was simply that I would consent to take charge of her daughter during her absence. This was, all things considered, a strange, not to say... Oh, things are happening outside. This was, all things considered, a strange, not to say, an audacious request. She in some sort disarmed me by stating and admitting everything that could be urged against it, and throwing herself entirely upon my chivalry. At the same moment, by a fatality that seems to have predetermined all that happened, my poor child came to my side and, in an undertone, besought me to invite her new friend, Millarca, to pay us a visit. She had just been sounding her and thought, if her mamma would allow her, she would like it extremely. No, it's not storming at all here. There were car noises going on there. Sounded like a ghost moving a chair in the background. Stream in the background, time to work on the car. Heck yeah. Thank you for the lurk. Welcome in, Uncrowned. At another time, I should have told her to wait a little until, at least, we knew who they were. But I had not a moment to think in. The two ladies assailed me together, and I must confess the refined and beautiful face of the young lady, about which there was something extremely engaging, as well as the elegance and fire of high birth, determined me, and, quite overpowered, I submitted and undertook too easily the care of the young lady, whom her mother called Millarca, which, that's right, remember, Millarca is Carmilla, and it's an anagram of her name, so yeah. Let's get comfy. The Countess beckoned to her daughter, who listened with grave attention while she told her, in general terms, how suddenly and peremptorily she had been summoned, and also of the arrangement she had made for her under my care, adding that I was one of her earliest and most valued friends. There's a gram of deception, I swear to God. I made, of course, such speeches as the case seemed to call for, and found myself, on reflection, in a position which I did not half like. The gentleman in black returned, and very ceremoniously conducted the lady from the room. The demeanor of this gentleman was such as to impress me with the conviction that the Countess was a lady of very much more importance than her modest title alone might have led me to assume. But here, she said, neither I nor my daughter could safely remain for more than a day. I removed my mask imprudently for a moment, about an hour ago, and, too late, I fancied you saw me. So I resolved to seek an opportunity of talking a little to you. Had I found that you had seen me, I would have thrown myself on your high sense of honor to keep my secret some weeks. As it is, I am satisfied that you did not see me, but if you now suspect or, on reflection, should suspect who I am, I commit myself, in like manner, entirely to your honor. My daughter will observe the same secrecy, and I well know that you will, from time to time, remind her lest she should thoughtlessly disclose it. She whispered a few words to her daughter, kissed her hurriedly twice, and went away, accompanied by the pale gentleman in black, and disappeared in the crowd. In the next room, said Malika, there is a window that looks upon the hall door. I should like to see the last of Mamma, and to kiss my hand to her. We assented, of course, and accompanied her to the window. We looked out and saw a handsome old-fashioned carriage with a troop of couriers and footmen. We saw the slim figure of the pale gentleman in black, as he held a thick velvet cloak and placed it about her shoulders and threw the hood over her head. She nodded to him and just touched his hand with hers. He bowed low repeatedly as the door closed and the carriage began to move. She is gone, said Malika with a sigh. She is gone, I repeated to myself for the first time, in the hurried moments that had elapsed since my consent, reflecting upon the folly of my act. She did not look up, said the young lady, plaintively. The Countess had taken off her mask, perhaps, and did not care to show her face, I said, and she could not know that you were in the window. She sighed and looked in my face. She was so beautiful that I relented. I was sorry I had for a moment repented of my hospitality, and I determined to make her amends for the unavowed churlishness of my reception. The young lady, replacing her mask, joined my ward in persuading me to return to the grounds, where the concert was soon to be renewed. We did so, and walked up and down the terrace that lies under the castle windows. Malika became very intimate with us, and amused us with lively descriptions and stories of most of the great people whom we saw upon the terrace. Lord. I liked her more and more every minute. Her gossip, without being ill-natured, was extremely diverting to me, who had been so long out of the great world. I thought what life she would give to our sometimes lonely evenings at home. This ball was not over until the morning sun had almost reached the horizon. It pleased the Grand Duke to dance till then, so loyal people could not go away or think of bed. Thank you, Cobalt. There's that reading she was talking. Said, please. We had just got through a crowded saloon when my ward asked me what had become of Malika. I thought she had been by her side, and she fancied she was by mine. The fact was, we had lost her. All my efforts to find her were vain. I feared that she had mistaken, in the confusion of a momentary separation from us, other people for her new friends, and had possibly pursued and lost them in the extensive grounds which were thrown open to us. Now, in its full force, I recognized a new folly in my having undertaken the charge of a young lady without so much as knowing her name, and fettered as I was by promises of the reasons for imposing which I knew nothing. I could not even point my inquiries by saying that the missing young lady was the daughter of the Countess who had taken her departure a few hours before. What in the malarkey? Morning broke. It was clear daylight before I gave up my search. It was not till near 2 o'clock next day that we heard anything of my missing charge. At about that time, a servant knocked at my niece's door to say that we had been earnestly requested by a young lady who appeared to be in great distress to make out where she could find the General Baron Spielsdorf and the young lady, his daughter, in whose charge she had been left by her mother. There could be no doubt, notwithstanding the slight inaccuracy, that our young friend had turned up, and so she had. Would to heaven we had lost her. She told my poor child a story to account for her having failed to recover us for so long. Very late, she said, she had got to the housekeeper's bedroom in despair of finding us, and had then fallen into a deep sleep which, long as it was, had hardly sufficed to recruit her strength after the fatigues of the ball. That day, Malarka came home with us. I was only too happy, after all, to have secured so charming a companion for my dear girl. Ah. Chapter 13, The Woodman. There soon, however, appeared some drawbacks. In the first place, Malarka complained of extreme languor, the weakness that remained after her late illness, and she never emerged from her room till the afternoon was pretty far advanced. In the next place, it was accidentally discovered, although she always locked her door on the inside and never disturbed the key from its place, till she admitted the maid to assist at her toilet, that she was undoubtedly sometimes absent from her room in the very early morning, and at various times later in the day, before she wished it to be understood that she was stirring. She was repeatedly seen from the windows of the Schloss in the first faint gray of the morning, walking through the trees in an easterly direction, and looking like a person in a trance. This convinced me that she walked in her sleep. But this hypothesis did not solve the puzzle. How did she pass out from her room, leaving the door locked on the inside? How did she escape from the house without unbarring door or window? Oh, thank you for the stretch. Crusader. Oh, just continue their Zipper Prime. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Thank you for the Prime. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Ah. Drowsy Potato, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. While I stretch and yawn, while I yawn, oh my god. If I could stop yawning, that would be cool. That'd be great. Okay. I've been so sleepy today, I swear. In the midst of my perplexities, an anxiety of a far more urgent kind presented itself. My dear child began to lose her looks and health, and that in a manner so mysterious and even horrible that I became thoroughly frightened. She was at first visited by appalling dreams, then, as she fancied, by a spectre, sometimes resembling Malarca, sometimes in the shape of a beast, indistinctly seen, walking around the foot of her bed from side to side. Lastly came sensations. One, not unpleasant, but very peculiar, she said, resembled the flow of an icy stream against her breast. At a later time, she felt something like a pair of large needles pierce her, a little below the throat, with a very sharp pain. A few nights after followed a gradual and convulsive sense of strangulation, then came unconsciousness. Can you snap my neck back in place? It hurts. I would if I could. I'm so bad about popping my neck. I'm so bad about it. I could hear distinctly, every word the kind old general was saying, because by this time we were driving upon the short grass that spreads on either side of the road as you approach the roofless village, which had not shown the smoke of a chimney for more than half a century. You may guess how strangely I felt as I heard my own symptoms so exactly described, and those which had been experienced by the poor girl who, but for the catastrophe which followed, would have been at that moment a visitor at my father's chateau. You may suppose, also, how I felt as I heard him detail habits and mysterious peculiarities which were, in fact, those of our beautiful guest, Carmilla. That's right, so the one who's recounting this tale is also Sagi. Thank you for the hydrate. Hi, welcome in. Hola, Renato. I'm good. I hope you're doing good too. Yeah, the person that's recounting the story is the general. So at the very beginning, the whole thing was like that his daughter, I don't remember if it was him and his daughter, but his daughter was coming to visit, and his daughter's like the same age as her, and you know, she was all excited because, you know, there aren't many little like people around, and she was excited to have a friend. And then his daughter died. His daughter passed away. They received a letter. Her father received a letter from him saying that. And yeah, so now we're finding out that in fact it wasn't some little accident or whatever the thing was. I'm more late than Banshees. I'm never late. What do you mean? I did jujitsu yesterday and I turned my head wrong today, so I'm so sorry. That sounds awful. Okay. I don't even have headphones right now, so I can't. That's okay. You don't have to listen to me. I understand. Where was I? A vista opened in the forest. We were on a sudden under the chimneys and gables of the ruined village, and the towers and battlements of the dismantled castle, round which gigantic trees are grouped, overhung us from a slight eminence. In a frightened dream, I got down from the carriage, and in silence, for we had each abundant matter for thinking, we soon mounted the ascent, and were among the spacious chambers, winding stairs and dark corridors of the castle. Never late, I came back to laugh at that scene. I don't know what you mean. And this was once the palatial residence of the Karnsteins, said the old general at length, as from a great window he looked out across the village and saw the wide, undulating expanse of forest. It was a bad family, and here its blood-stained annals were written, he continued. It is hard that they should, after death, continue to plague the human race with their atrocious lusts. That is the chapel of the Karnsteins, down there. He pointed down to the gray walls of the Gothic building, partly visible through the foliage, a little way down the steep. And I hear the axe of a woodman, he added, busy among the trees that surround it. He possibly may give us the information of which I am in search, and point out the grave of Mircalla, Countess of Karnstein. These rustics preserve the local traditions of great families, whose stories die out among the rich and titled so soon as the families themselves become extinct. We have a portrait at home of Mircalla, the Countess Karnstein. Should you like to see it? Asked my father. Time enough, dear friend, replied the general. I believe that I have seen the original, and one motive which has led me to you earlier than I at first intended was to explore the chapel which we are now approaching. What? See the Countess Mircalla? Exclaimed my father. Why? She has been dead more than a century. Not so dead as you fancy, I am told, answered the general. I confess, General, you puzzle me utterly, replied my father. Looking at him, I fancied, for a moment with a return of the suspicion I detected before. But although there was anger and detestation at times in the old general's manner, there was nothing flighty. There remains to me, he said, as we passed under the heavy arch of the Gothic church, for its dimensions would have justified its being so styled, but one object which can interest me during the few years that remain to me on earth, and that is to wreak on her the vengeance which, I thank God, may still be accomplished by a mortal arm. What vengeance can you mean? Asked my father, in increasing amazement. Oh my god. Struggle busting over here. What else is new? I mean, to decapitate the monster, he answered, with a fierce flush, and a stamp that echoed mournfully through the hollow ruin, and his clenched hand was at the same moment raised, as if it grasped the handle of an axe, while he shook it ferociously in the air. What? Exclaimed my father, more than ever bewildered. To strike her head off. Cut her head off? Aye, with a hatchet, with a spade, or with anything that can cleave through her murderous throat. You shall hear, he answered, trembling with rage, and hurrying forward, he said. That beam will answer for a seat. Your dear child is fatigued. Let her be seated, and I will, in a few sentences, close my dreadful story. The squared block of wood, which lay on the grass-grown pavement of the chapel, formed a bench on which I was very glad to seat myself, and in the meantime the general called to the woodman, who had been removing some boughs, which leaned upon the old walls, and, axe in hand, the hardy old fellow stood before us. He could not tell us anything in these monuments, but there was an old man, he said, a ranger of this forest, present sojourning in the house of the priest, about 2 miles away, who could point out every monument of the old Karnstein family, and for a trifle, he undertook to bring him back with him, if we would lend him one of our horses, in a little more than half an hour. Have you been long employed about this forest? Asked my father of the old man. I have been a woodman here, he answered in his patois, under the forester all my days. So has my father before me, and so on, as many generations as I can count up. I could show you the very house in the village here, in which my ancestors lived. How came the village to be deserted? Asked the general. It was troubled by revenants, sir. Several were tracked to their graves, there detected by the usual tests, and extinguished in the usual way, by decapitation, by the stake, and by burning, but not until many of the villagers were killed. But after all these proceedings according to law, he continued, so many graves opened, and so many vampires deprived of their horrible animation, the village was not relieved. But a Moravian nobleman, who happened to be traveling this way, heard how matters were, and being skilled, as many people are in his country, in such affairs, he offered to deliver the village from its tormentor. He did so thus. There being a bright moon that night, he ascended, shortly after sunset, the towers of the chapel here, from whence he could distinctly see the churchyard beneath him. You can see it from that window. From this point he watched until he saw the vampire come out of his grave and place near it the linen clothes in which he had been folded, and then glide away towards the village to plague its inhabitants. Are you trying to define this chat's energy into emojis? The stranger, having seen all this, came down from the steeple, took the linen wrappings of the vampire, and carried them up to the top of the tower, which he again mounted. When the vampire returned from his prowlings and missed his clothes, he cried furiously to the Moravian, whom he saw at the summit of the tower, and who, in reply, beckoned him to ascend and take them. Whereupon the vampire, accepting his invitation, began to climb the steeple, and so soon as he had reached the battlements, the Moravian, with a stroke of his sword, clove his skull in twain, hurling him down to the churchyard, whither, descending by the winding stairs, the stranger followed and cut his head off, and next day delivered it and the body to the villagers, who duly impaled and burnt them. Oh my goodness. Hi, Nehex. Thank you. Welcome in. Next day delivery. Oh, the cat just woke up. Hello. Hello there. Hi. Eversea. Hi. This is just another option. This is just another option. Hi, Aggie. I see you. My head hurts and I needed something to listen to. Oh, well, I hope your headache goes away. I hope the head hurtsies go away. Okay, there I am. This Moravian nobleman had authority from the then head of the family to remove the tomb of Mircalla, Countess Karnstein, which he did effectually, so that in a little while its site was quite forgotten. Oh goodness, I felt like I had to burp. Okay. Can you point out where it stood? Asked the general eagerly. The forester shook his head and smiled. Not a soul living could tell you that now, he said. Besides, they say her body was removed, but no one is sure of that either. Having thus spoken as time pressed, he dropped his axe and departed, leaving us to hear the remainder of the general's strange story. Yeah, this one has a whole bunch of different, like, customization options. And I'm still working on it, so, yeah. Chapter 14. The Meeting. My beloved child, he resumed, was now growing rapidly worse. The physician who attended her had failed to produce the slightest impression on her disease, for such I then supposed it to be. He saw my alarm and suggested a consultation. I called in an abler physician from Graz. Several days elapsed before he arrived. He was a good and pious as well as a learned man. Having seen my poor ward together, they withdrew to my library to confer and discuss. I, from the adjoining room, where I awaited their summons, heard these two gentlemen's voices raised in something sharper than a strictly philosophical discussion. I knocked at the door and entered. I found the old physician from Graz maintaining his theory. His rival was combating it with undisguised ridicule, accompanied with bursts of laughter. This unseemly manifestation subsided, and the altercation ended on my entrance. Sir, said my first physician, my learned brother seems to think that you want a conjurer and not a doctor. Pardon me, said the old physician from Graz, looking displeased. I shall state my own view of the case in my own way another time. I grieve, Monsieur le General, that by my skill in science I can be of no use. Came back again to say I love the new model. I appreciate. Like I said, we like more options. We like more options, especially clothes. I really like clothes options. Okay. Before I go, I shall do myself the honor to suggest something to you. He seemed thoughtful and sat down at a table and began to write. Profoundly disappointed, I made the bow, and as I turned to go, the other doctor pointed over his shoulder to his companion, who was writing, and then, with a shrug, significantly touched his forehead. This consultation, then, left me precisely where I was. I walked out into the grounds, all but distracted. The doctor from Graz, in 10 or 15 minutes, overtook me. He apologized for having followed me, but said that he could not conscientiously take his leave without a few more words. He told me that he could not be mistaken. No natural disease exhibited the same symptoms, and that death was already very near. There remained, however, a day or possibly 2 of life. If the fatal seizure were at once arrested, With great care and skill, her strength might possibly return. But all hung now upon the confines of the irrevocable. One more assault might extinguish the last spark of vitality which is, every moment, ready to die. Yeah, we're reading Carmilla. Carmilla, it's a vampire novel. And what is the nature of the seizure you speak of? I entreated. I have stated all fully in this note, which I place in your hands upon the distinct condition that you send for the nearest clergyman, and open my letter in his presence, and on no account read it till he is with you. You would despise it else, and it is a matter of life and death. Should the priest fail you, then, indeed, you may read it. He asked me, before taking his leave finally, whether I would wish to see a man curiously learned upon the very subject which, after I had read his letter, would probably interest me above all others, and he urged me earnestly to invite him to visit him there, and so took his leave. Yeah, based on a true story. Hi, Krypton. Excuse me. The ecclesiastic was absent, and I read the letter by myself. At another time, or in another case, it might have excited my ridicule. But into what quackeries will not people rush for a last chance, where all accustomed means have failed, and the life of a beloved object is at stake? Nothing, you will say, could be more absurd than the learned man's letter. It was monstrous enough to have consigned him to a madhouse. He said that the patient was suffering from the visits of a vampire. The punctures which she described as having occurred near the throat were, he insisted, the insertion of those two long, thin, and sharp teeth which, it is well known, are peculiar to vampires. And there could be no doubt, he added, as to the well-defined presence of the small, livid mark which all concurred in describing as that induced by the demon's lips, and every symptom described by the sufferer was in exact conformity with those recorded in every case of a similar visitation. Being myself wholly skeptical as to the existence of any such portent as the vampire, the supernatural theory of the good doctor furnished, in my opinion, but another instance of learning and intelligence oddly associated with someone hallucination. I was so miserable, however, that rather than try nothing, I acted upon the instructions of the letter. Blood on Blue Velvet, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, new customizable. I also showed off a new little customizable chibi too. Yeah. Oh, goodness. I concealed myself in the dark dressing room that opened upon the poor patient's room, in which a candle was burning, and watched there till she was fast asleep. I stood at the door, peeping through the small crevice, my sword laid on the table beside me, as my directions prescribed, until, a little after 1, I saw a large black object, very ill-defined, crawl, as it seemed to me, over the foot of the bed, and swiftly spread itself up to the poor girl's throat, where it swelled in a moment into a great, palpitating mass. Oh, happy 28th, Garfield. I hope it's a good birthday. I hope it's a really good birthday for you. For a few moments I had stood petrified. I now sprang forward, with my sword in my hand. The black creature suddenly contracted towards the foot of the bed, glided over it, and, standing on the floor about a yard below the foot of the bed, with a glare of skulking ferocity and horror fixed on me, I saw Malarka. Speculating I know not what, I struck at her instantly with my sword, but I saw her standing near the door, unscathed. Horrified, I pursued and struck again. She was gone, and my sword flew to shivers against the door. I can't describe to you all that passed on that horrible night. The whole house was up and stirring. The spectre Malarka was gone, but her victim was sinking fast, and before the morning dawned, she died. The old general was agitated. We did not speak to him. My father walked to some little distance and began reading the inscriptions on the tombstones, and thus occupied, he strolled into the door of a side chapel to prosecute his researches. No, it's fine. We'll let the car pass. It's fine. That was so loud. The general leaned against the wall, dried his eyes, and sighed heavily. I was relieved on hearing the voices of Carmilla and Madame, who were at that moment approaching. The voices died away. In this solitude, having just listened to so strange a story, connected as it was with the great entitled dead, whose monuments were moldering among the dust and ivy around us, and every incident of which bore so awfully upon my own mysterious case, in this haunted spot, darkened by the towering foliage that rose on every side, dense and high above its noiseless walls, a horror began to steal over me, and my heart sank as I thought that my friends were, after all, not about to enter and disturb this triste and ominous scene. The old general's eyes were fixed on the ground as he leaned with his hand upon the basement of a shattered monument. Under a narrow, arched doorway, surmounted by one of those demoniacal grotesques in which the cynical and ghastly fancy of old Gothic carving delights, I saw, very gladly, the beautiful face and figure of Carmilla enter the shadowy chapel. I was just about to rise and speak, and nodded smiling, and answered her peculiarly engaging smile, when, with a cry, the old man by my side caught up the woodman's hatchet and started forward. On seeing him, a brutalized change came over her features. It was an instantaneous and horrible transformation, as she made a crouching step backwards. Before I could utter a scream, he struck at her with all his force, but she dived under his blow, and unscathed, caught him in her tiny grasp by the wrist. He struggled for a moment to release his arm, but his hand opened. The axe fell to the ground and the girl was gone. He staggered against the wall. His gray hair stood upon his head and a moisture shone over his face, as if he were at the point of death. The frightful scene had passed in a moment. The first thing I recollect after is Madame standing before me and impatiently repeating again and again the question, "Where is Mademoiselle Carmilla?" I answered at length, "I don't know, I can't tell. She went there," and I pointed to the door through which Madame had just entered, only a minute or two since. "But I have been standing there, in the passage, ever since Mademoiselle Carmilla entered, and she did not return." She then began to call, "Carmilla," through every door and passage and from the windows, but no answer came. "She called herself Carmilla?" asked the general, still agitated. "Carmilla, yes," I answered. "Aye," he said, "that is Millarca. That is the same person who long ago was called Millarca, Countess Karnstein. Depart from this accursed ground, my poor child, as quickly as you can. Drive to the clergyman's house and stay there till we come. Be gone. May you never behold Carmilla more. You will not find her here." Which, of course, we knew. We knew that was, Millarco's Carmilla, blah, 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 but... Oh, I'm so interested to see how this goes. Chapter... That doesn't sound like a vampire. I know, isn't it getting so good? Oh, night time bomb. Ordeal and Execution, Chapter 15. As he spoke, one of the strangest looking men I ever beheld entered the chapel at the door, through which Carmilla had made her entrance and her exit. He was tall, narrow-chested, stooping, with high shoulders, and dressed in black. His face was brown and dried in with deep furrows. He wore an oddly shaped hat with a broad leaf. His hair, long and grizzled, hung on his shoulders. He wore a pair of gold spectacles and walked slowly, with an odd shambling gait, with his face sometimes turned up to the sky and sometimes bowed down towards the ground, seemed to wear a perpetual smile. His long, thin arms were swinging, and his lank hands and old black gloves, ever so much too wide for them, waving and gesticulating in utter abstraction. Father Henderson. What's up, Yuri? Welcome in. Shambling, definitely not another monster. I'm so like the white t-shirt guy. Oh, I love that meme. Thank you for the hydrate. I hope you're doing good. We do love our monsters here. "The very man," exclaimed the general, advancing with manifest delight. "My dear Baron, how happy I am to see you. I had no hope of meeting you so soon." He signed to my father, who had by this time returned, and leading the fantastic old gentleman, whom he called the Baron, to meet him. He introduced him formally, and they at once entered into earnest conversation. The stranger took a roll of paper from his pocket and spread it on the worn surface of a tomb that stood by. He had a pencil case in his fingers, with which he traced imaginary lines from point to point on the paper, which, from their often glancing from it, together, at certain points of the building, I concluded to be a plan of the chapel. He accompanied what I may term his lecture with occasional readings from a dirty little book, whose yellow leaves were closely written over. Correction, you can't love monsters a little too much. I don't know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, MC, so true. So true. They sauntered together down the side aisle, opposite to the spot where I was standing, conversing as they went. Then they began measuring distances by paces, and finally they all stood together, facing a piece of the side wall, which they began to examine with great minuteness, pulling off the ivy that clung over it, and rapping the plaster with the ends of their sticks, scraping here and knocking there. At length they ascertained the existence of a broad marble tablet, with letters carved in relief upon it. With the assistance of the woodman, who soon returned, a monumental inscription and carved escutcheon were disclosed. They proved to be those of the long-lost monument of Mircalla, Countess Karnstein. The old general, though not, I fear, given to the praying mood, raised his hands and eyes to heaven in mute thanksgiving for some moments. "Tomorrow," I heard him say, "the commissioner will be here, and the Inquisition will be held according to law." Then turning to the old man with the gold spectacles, whom I have described, he shook him warmly by both hands and said, "Baron, how can I thank you? How can we all thank you? You will have delivered this region from a plague that has scourged its inhabitants for more than a century. The horrible enemy, thank God, is at last tracked." My father led the stranger aside, and the general followed. I know that he had led them out of hearing, that he might relate my case, and I saw them glance often quickly at me as the discussion proceeded. My father came to me, kissed me again and again, and leading me from the chapel, said, "It is time to return. But before we go home, we must add to our party the good priest, who lives but a little way from this, and persuade him to accompany us to the Schloss." In this quest we were successful, and I was glad, being unspeakably fatigued when we reached home. But my satisfaction was changed to dismay on discovering that there were no tidings of Carmilla. Of the scene that had occurred in the ruined chapel, no explanation was offered to me, and it was clear that it was a secret which my father, for the present, determined to keep from me. He's keeping from her because she's still bewitched. She's still under Carmilla's, spell. Is this an RPG? Adding a healer to the... Oh, okay, get out. The sinister absence of Carmilla made the remembrance of the scene more horrible to me. The arrangements for the night were singular. 2 servants and Madame were to sit up in my room that night, and the ecclesiastic with my father kept watch in the adjoining dressing room. The priest had performed certain solemn rites that night, the purport of which I did not understand any more than I comprehended the reason of this extraordinary precaution taken for my safety during sleep. I saw all clearly a few days later. Run, Coon. If only my D&D players would realize they don't have one, I could actually have strong enemies. Fuck, where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Oh, geez, okay. I accidentally scrolled down a little. Okay. The disappearance of Carmilla was followed by the discontinuance of my nightly sufferings. You have heard, no doubt, of the appalling superstition that prevails in Upper and Lower Syria, in Moravia, Silesia, in Turkish Serbia, in Poland, and even in Russia. The superstition, so we must call it, of the vampire. If human testimony, taken with every care and solemnity, judiciously, before commissions innumerable, each consisting of many members, all chosen for integrity and intelligence, and constituting reports more voluminous, perhaps, than exist upon any one other class of cases, is worth anything, it is difficult to deny, or even to doubt the existence as such a phenomenon as the vampire. For my part, I have heard no theory by which to explain what I myself have witnessed and experienced, other than that supplied by the ancient and well-attested belief of the country. The next day, the formal proceedings took place in the chapel of Karnstein. The grave of the Countess Mircalla was opened, and the general and my father recognized each his perfidious and beautiful guest in the face now disclosed to view. The features, though 150 years had passed since her funeral, were tinted with the warmth of life. Her eyes were open. No cadaverous smell exhaled from the coffin. The two medical men, one officially present, the other on the part of the promoter of the inquiry, attested the marvelous fact that there was a faint but appreciable respiration and a corresponding action of the heart. The limbs were perfectly flexible, the flesh elastic, and the leaden coffin floated with blood, in which to a depth of 7 inches the body lay immersed. I did not expect the coffin to be full of blood. Oh, hello, little monkey. Here then, yeah, a literal bloodbath. Here then were all the admitted signs and proofs of vampirism. Pinocchio, I love that model. Thank you. She's new. She's new. I bought the Akizone Mies model like yesterday. Why and how did the authoritative voice figure out how deep the blood was? That's a good question. That's a really good question. It's just corn syrup and red food coloring. Okay. Yeah, here then were all the admitted signs and proofs of vampirism. The body, therefore, in accordance with the ancient practice, was raised, and a sharp stake driven through the heart of the vampire, who uttered a piercing shriek at the moment, in all respects such as might escape from a living person in the last agony. Then the head was struck off, and a torrent of blood flowed from the severed neck. The body and head was next placed on a pile of wood and reduced to ashes, which were thrown upon the river and borne away. And that territory has never since been plagued by the visits of a vampire. My father has a copy of the report of the Imperial Commission, with the signatures of all who were present at these proceedings, attached in verification of the statement. It is from this official paper that I have summarized my account of this last shocking scene. If this is a Hammer film, it would just be paint. Chapter 16. Conclusion. I write all this, you suppose, with composure. Anonymous with the gifted sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. What about the food coloring, please? I write all this, you suppose, with composure, but far from it. I cannot think of it without agitation. Nothing but your earnest desire, so repeatedly expressed, could have induced me to sit down to a task that has unstrung my nerves for months to come, and reinduced a shadow of the unspeakable horror which, years after my deliverance, continued to make my days and nights dreadful, and solitude insupportably terrific. Especially with the freckles. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me add a word or two about that quaint Baron Vordenberg, to whose curious lore we were in debt for the discovery of the Countess Mircalla's grave. He had taken up his abode in Graz, where, living upon a mere pittance, which was all that remained to him of the once princely estates of his family in Upper Syria, he devoted himself to the minute and laborious investigation of the marvelously authenticated tradition of vampirism. He had at his fingers' ends all the great and little works upon the subject. Oh God, oh no, my pronunciation here, oh God. I'm so sorry. Hi, Dragon, welcome in. Magia posthuma, flagon de, oh God, mirabilibus, Augustinus de cura pro mortuis. It's nothing new. Philosophicae at, oh God, at Christiane Cogitationes de Vampiris. What in the Latin? By John Christopher Herrenberg and 1,000 others, among which I remember only a few of those which he lent to my father. He had a voluminous digest of all the judicial cases. Yeah, I saw it. From which he had extracted a system of principles that appear to govern, some always and others occasionally only, the condition of the vampire. I may mention, in passing, that the deadly pallor attributed to that sort of revenants is a mere melodramatic fiction. They present in the grave. They present in the grave and when they show themselves in human society, the appearance of healthy life. Okay, no, I was right. They present anyway. When disclosed to light in their coffins, they exhibit all the symptoms that are enumerated as those which prove the vampire life of the long-dead Countess Karnstein. Shadow, please. Oh, goodness. How they escape from their graves and return to them for certain hours every day, without displacing the clay or leaving any trace of disturbance in the state of the coffin or the cerements, has always been admitted to be utterly inexplicable. Arch Llewellyn, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. The amphibious existence of the vampire is sustained by daily renewed slumber in the grave. Its horrible lust for living blood supplies the vigor of its waking existence. The vampire is prone to be fascinated with an engrossing vehemence, resembling the passion of love by particular persons. In pursuit of these, it will exercise inexhaustible patience and stratagem, for access to a particular object may be obstructed in 100 ways. It will never desist until it has satiated its passion and drained the very life of its coveted victim. But it will, in these cases, husband and protract its murderous enjoyment with the refinement of an epicure, and heighten it by the gradual approaches of an artful courtship. In these cases, it seems to yearn for something like sympathy and consent. In ordinary ones, it goes direct to its object. Overpowers with violence and strangles and exhausts often at a single feast. Thank you for the stretch. Oh, goodness. And thank you for the hydrate. Okay, there I am. The vampire is apparently subject in certain situations to special conditions. In the particular instance of which I have given you a relation, Mircalla seemed to be limited to a name which, if not her real one, should at least reproduce, without the omission or addition of a single letter, those, as we say, anagrammatically, which compose it. So she had to have her name similar. That's interesting. Carmilla did this. So did Millarca. My father related to the Baron Vordenberg, who remained with us for 2 or 3 weeks after the expulsion of Carmilla, the story about the Moravian nobleman and the vampire at Karnstein churchyard. And then he asked the Baron how he had discovered the exact position of the long-concealed tomb of the Countess Mircalla. The Baron's grotesque features puckered up into a mysterious smile. He looked down, still smiling on his worn spectacle case, and fumbled with it. Then looking up, he said, I have many journals and other papers written by that remarkable man. The most curious among them is one treating of the visit of which you speak to Karnstein. The tradition, of course, discolors and distorts a little. He might have been termed a Moravian nobleman, for he had changed his abode to that territory, and was, beside, a noble. But he was, in truth, a native of Upper Syria. It is enough to say that in very early youth, he had been a passionate and favored lover of the beautiful Mircalla, Countess Karnstein. Her early death plunged him into inconsolable grief. It is the nature of vampires to increase and multiply, but according to an ascertained and ghostly law, assume at starting a territory perfectly free from that pest. How does it begin? And how does it multiply itself? I will tell you. A person more or less wicked puts an end to himself. A suicide under certain circumstances becomes a vampire. Huh. That specter visits living people in their slumbers. They die, and almost invariably in the grave, develop into vampires. This happened in the case of the beautiful Mircalla, who was haunted by one of those demons. My ancestor, Vordenberg, whose title I still bear, soon discovered this, and in the course of the studies to which he devoted himself, learned a great deal more. Among other things, he concluded that suspicion of vampirism would probably fall, sooner or later, upon the dead countess, who in life had been his idol. He conceived a horror, be she what she might, of her remains being profaned by the outrage of a posthumous execution. He has left a curious paper to prove that the vampire, on its expulsion from its amphibious existence, is projected into a far more horrible life, and he resolved to save his once beloved Mircalla from this. He adopted the stratagem of a journey here, a pretended removal of her remains, and a real obliteration of her monument. When age had stolen upon him, and from the veil of years, he looked back on the scenes he was leaving. He considered in a different spirit what he had done, and a horror took possession of him. He made the tracings and notes which have guided me to the very spot, and drew up a confession of the deception that he had practiced. If he had intended any further action in this matter, death prevented him, and the hand of a remote descendant has, too late for many, directed the pursuit to the lair of the beast. We talked a little more, and among other things he said was this: one sign of the vampire is the power of the hand. The slender hand of Mircalla closed like a vice of steel on the general's wrist when he raised the hatchet to strike. But its power is not confined to its grasp. It leaves a numbness in the limb it seizes, which is slowly, if ever, recovered from. The following spring, my father took me a tour through Italy. We remained away for more than a year. It was long before the terror of recent events subsided, and to this hour, the image of Carmilla returns to memory with ambiguous alternations. Sometimes the playful, languid, beautiful girl. Sometimes the writhing fiend I saw in the ruined church. And often from a reverie I've started, fancying I heard the light step of Carmilla at the drawing-room door. And that is Carmilla. Isn't that just the nature of all species that aren't pandas? No, definitely not paying enough attention to the reading. Zoning out is a bit too easy right now. Go to sleep, MC. Get some sleep. Yes, was Carmilla. You're right. You're right. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I really liked that. I really liked it. I did. Play Digimon soon until you pass out. You should. You should. Hi. I am going to take a moment to stretch my legs, grab a cough drop. Does she ever truly die? Just thinking about other forms of media where she shows back up. That's a good question, honestly. I think that's a really good question. Oh. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hi. 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 We just need to get a model guru and a modded together to put Banshee in the game to replace Banshees and Huns. Oh, that sounds like a horrible idea. That sounds like a terrible idea. I don't like that at all. Yeah, the new Ghost update in Fazzy. I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled with it. I gotta say. It sounds like a terrible idea. Where do I sign? Did they nerf Banshees? That's horrible. That's awful. Can't be any less scary than the single death animation. Like honestly, I was talking to Carrot about it earlier. And it's always a girl ghost model now. It's and I was telling her like how spoiled we are. How spoiled we are on Project Unknown. You know, like we're so spoiled by it. It's really bad. But the thingies in your eyes and mouth is best death. Is it? Is it really? Is it though? I don't think it is. Let's take Carmilla off of here. I'm so glad we finished that though. I'm so glad we got to read that. It was really good. Take the desk away for now. The best death is being choked by a pair of really thick thighs. Why is that so true? Minecraft is scarier than Phasmo. Actually true. Oh my god, excuse me. Holy bleh. I want to change the background. Let's do Wisteria, shall we? It's pretty. There we go. Excuse me. There's a new hard dinosaur Minecraft mod. What? Yeah. Keep the demons away. Only ghosts around here. Only ghosts around these parts. Louie, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, cutie pies. You were playing some Honkai Star Rail? Did you have fun? Did you honk all the star rails? Once again, hi Vic. Hi, welcome in. Hi, cutie pies. I hope you had a really good stream. I hope you did. Thank you so much for raiding in here. Thank you so much. You had a lot of fun? Heck yeah. loaf of milk tea. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome in. You guys, yeah, most of my redeems are turned off right now. You had a great stream. I'm so happy you did. Hope I have a fantastic stream as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we just finished the story. We just finished the story we were reading. So we're just vibing now. We're just vibing. I don't hate you having fun. What do you mean? What do you mean? But also, yes, hi. In case you don't know me, my name is Banshee. I am a ghost. Woo! I play really amazing gameplay of horror games and some cute ones. And I'm an ASMR artist as well. And also, you're not tied down here. Please don't think that you're stuck here. Go do your aftercare. I'm exhausted when I'm finished streaming, so please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. I don't lie. And she's always a No, I'm not. You know that, but it's always good to... Okay. If by gameplay you mean running around in the same 5-foot area and never leave. It's kind of true. 5 feet sanctuary. It's kind of true though. I can't even deny. Like, shut up, food. Like, it might work after the 8th time. The problem is my chat has seen me play too much Little Nightmares now. The raiders don't know the real streamer until Carrot shit. That's so true. Don't put those parentheses. Don't put those parentheses next to around play. What do you mean? Pro gamer here. My back hurts from the carrot. That's kind of true though. Carrot making her. I want attention rounds on Twitch, don't mind. Okay, yeah, that checks out. Let's check and see if we've been good and have actually taken care of ourselves. Let's check. Not bad. Also, thank you so much for the stretch and hydrate. Blah. Oh my goodness. Why am I sniffing? I'm sniffing because I'm making sure. Listen, I'm making sure that you're not being nasty. I'm making sure that you're taking care of yourself. You're cleaning yourself and stuff. Okay. Help me help you. Okay. Help me help you. Okay. Yeah. I think we're not stinky today. I think you actually smell really good. I think you smell really, really, really good. Imagine taking care of yourself. Just take care of yourselves. I had to shower this morning considering how close my doctor. Oh no, yeah, I feel that. It's like I'm a clean person just like anyway, but we scrubbing fucking everywhere before those kinds of visits. I'm not lying. Nah, am I implying if you're usually stinky? Am I implying that you usually stink? Do you stink? Maybe. Syndicat spotted. Yeah, we like a Hecka. Hecka's a sweetie. She's a sweetie. Hey. What if Banshee is a stinky one? Okay. Hey, you. Hey. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Are we listening? Have a good night, Hitmanic. Have a good night, Hitmanic. Thank you for the like, Silver. Shadow, please. Aggie, please. Are you listening? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Because you should be listening. Because I have a very, 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 very important secret to tell you. Yes, I do. I do. I really do. It's very important. It's very top secret. Top secret.
a very good secret. You wanna know? Do you wanna know my secret? You can't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone. Okay? Okay? You promise I can keep my secret. Which I'm not telling lies. I'm not.
Hit her with the flute. Not a great confidant.
I'm not telling you lies. I'm not. I would never tell you lies. I would never. It's the same secret, so it's okay. Hey. You are really cute. Yeah. You are. You're so adorable. So adorable. I'm pretty sure that's you. That's you. You are my fire. The one. I'm not a liar. Oh my god. I want it that way, I swear to God. I went Subway. Said no one ever. I wasn't expecting ASMR song lyrics today, but it's a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting it either. Nah, man. Penn Station's better. Get smooched, nerd. It's another, yeah. Jersey Mike's is better too. It's just another sandwich shop. I wonder if we should send Buns a Get Well postcard clip. Oh no. Yeah, Shadow. It was what the first part of the lyrics. I said something and it triggered that. Why not? Firehouse got some great mac and cheese. Oh, I love some good mac and cheese. Oh man. We got Christmas food coming up next week. Excuse me. Next week. Christmas stuff. Christmas food. I think your dyslexia is passing on the chat. Probably. If food eats food, is it cannibalism? I mean, I would understand. I went on a quest for mac and cheese to go one year for Thanksgiving. Found Panera Bread's mac. Theirs is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's a good pass, I think. Like, I don't want to do karaoke. I don't want to do karaoke. I love making mac and cheese noises. I plan. What was I gonna say? That totally fucking the fucking karaoke thing distracted me. Yeah. I'm not gonna put you or myself in that position. Yeah, Christmas food. Do you want to hear me sing Rap God? 'Cause no, you don't. No, you don't. You really don't. You really don't. Get distracted, nerd. Absolutely. You can sing Rap God? That's cool. That's cool. I cannot. I cannot. Like, hello, that's why poor Snake's voice is still shot for. Oh, I bet. And she has such a good voice. She has such a good singing voice. Like, I swear. We just love Serena around these parts. What? Someone who's human, I'm a human. What if we redeem for Rap God? No. Elifer, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I hope we're doing really good. I've got 175 points. Yeah, no. Rap God on the flute. Could you imagine? Would I rather have a flute redeemer sing Rap God? Y'all just trying to make me lose all my followers. Like, that's all you're doing. You guys would leave. You'd all leave me. Titanic flute 1 mil, Rap God 5 mil. Rap God on the recorder. No. Banshee sings Weird Al redeem. First thing that popped into your head. I don't know why, but okay. And we eat the hot dog. It's still meat and animal. Blech. But we're the case. Oh God. Oh no. So when we eat the hot dog, do we become the? Ugh. I don't like where this train of thought is going. I've been wanting you to burn everything down and start again for months. I've made no secret about it. Shadow 2025. As if you let us, I'm sure the cage would be unlocked. That's true. Hi there, it's my first time here. I can feel a little bit shy sometimes. Welcome in, Rare. Welcome in. Well, we're all shy around these parts. Well, welcome in. 104,000. I fully believe that. Probably not enough as an aggregate for the Titanic flute. That's so true, though. That's so true. Like normally when redeems are on and everything, and things are normal, like you'll do hit all the redeems. It's like you hit every button you can. You're those kids. That literally are like button push, 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 push. Came together, we wouldn't have enough. That's true. Oh, Christmas food. Oh, Christmas food. How lovely are your calories. You smell so good in the kitchen and taste so good in our bellies. Oh, Christmas food. Oh, Christmas food. How filling are your calories. That was cute. Cover columns pushing your butt. Honestly. We need more gambling streams so I can steal points. I'm glad you're having fun. Yeah. We finally eating food next week. Food run. Just gamble on what's gonna win, and there you go. Problem solved. Easy peasy. Can do that if I find a guarantee winner. Let's keep the odds unknown. Ooh. Oh, Coon, did you set that up? Hey. There we go. There you go. Y'all have fun. Because when I bet at all, I barely won anything. Yeah, that's fair. I was just waiting for the Gampa to come out. Gambling. It's a default thing. It only uses Stream Elements points though. Oh, well, fuck me. I wonder if I can get that. Let's see. That's right. It's so weird. The stream elements are different points and stuff. I know. Like, Let's click on this. It's possible, but it looked like more trouble. Yeah. There's, let's see. Let me look in my little dashboard. Let's see what I can find. Wait. Actually, I wonder. I think there's a way somewhere in here. Maybe. Seems to be busted. Yeah. You have a song stuck in your head? What song? What song stuck in your head? I see that. Nothing in the... Oh, wait, no. There it is. Yeah, I'll have to play with that. roulette module. Oh Lord. Exclamation anti-carrot. Bring the wheel back. I was kind of tempted to bring the wheel back, like as like a normal thing for ASMR nights. I was kind of sorry for the sniffle right in your ear. And just add a bunch of different like little thingies. And maybe I was kind of thinking something like set a redeem with a shorter timer for the wheel, where it's like a question mark, where it's, you know, whatever the wheel picks is what you get, versus the queen has returned. I swear to God. A punishment wheel that'll probably happen at some point. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Either like as a milestone kind of thing, or, you know, an event kind of thing. Yeah. You can't chat on there. Oh goodness. Fishy, I swear. Always begging to be banned, I swear to God. Would a carrot stream be a punishment or a prize? That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question that I don't know the answer to. I think a punishment. She would completely obliterate my stream. She would ban everyone. Taking back her stream is wild. George would ban me if I streamed. Yeah, she really has no filter. Can confirm. Since Banshee is the punishment, she must be the prize. Okay. Any ban from Queen Carrot, pardon me, excuse me, must be fair, therefore, prize wheel. I feel like Carrot would do a tier list with all the chat members and put us in the most random categories ever. That wouldn't really be tiers. Ooh, speaking of tier lists, sometime in like the beginning of the year, Yurei, our little yokai, and I will be doing like a horror tier list based off of, you know, like horror movies. I don't know if shows will be included, but horror movies for sure. And that'll be fun. Yeah, since we both really like horror, it makes sense. Hi, Murasaki. Welcome in. None of the blue one. I have seen all three Terrifiers, and I've actually watched the original one. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. I didn't really like it. But I've seen all three. I've seen all three Terrifiers. Oh god. I was so excited. Stop with the blue hair hating. I don't hate blue hair. Stop it. Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely. It's gore porn. Like 1,000% gore corn. Whatever. Only likes me. I can't sigh enough. I don't hate blue hair. I don't. I've had blue hair at one point. I think I've only ever seen like 3 horror movies. All were with other people. I hate watching them. That's fair. That's totally valid. It's not the hair you hate, just be. No. It's not true. Mm-mm. Horrible lies. The blue dinosaurs will be on the most killable list. Stop. Sounds like probable cause for villain. Stop it. Stop it. I'm done. I'm done reading, y'all. No. I'm going to see if any of her Iron Lung in the. I'm excited about Iron Lung. I'm excited about that. That's really cool. Mazakuet. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Welcome in. I hope we're doing really good here. I hope we're doing good. Really good. My chat is bullying me, so I'm can't handle the truth is bullshit. I'm done reading. Proceeds to keep reading. I can't help it. Literally fall asleep to horror vids and movies. I love horror stuff. I can't help. The only way I watch horror movies is with friends. So it's confirmation. I haven't seen any of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. Oopsies. How many blue animals do you have? Shut up, Coon. My curse of a streamer. I know. It's like I can't stop. I can't stop myself. Actually, there are only 2. Shadow. Don't watch them. I'll save you the trouble. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I I never said actually. Okay. Taikyo. Hi, welcome in. I'm just saying it's not a lot to catch it. No, I know. I figured that. I yeah. I'm saying any of the two is still watching any of them. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing good. I'm trying to think. My brain is starting to do the mush thing per usual. My brain did a derp. Did you just actually I believe he did. Thank you so much for the sketch. I want burgers, but I'm out of buns. Eat them without the buns. I love burgers with, like, if I'm in that situation, get a burger and pair it with cottage cheese and like a tomato. It's fucking delicious. Throw some pepper. Oh. Thank you for the hydrate. Actually, she was making an, actually, that wasn't, and, actually. It's time. I think it's around that time. Let's see who's on. Oh yeah, sandwich roll's good. Let's see. I like cottage cheese. What's your hate on cottage cheese? It's really good. I like it. You despise it? Fine. Rude. It's not nasty. What do you mean? It's not nasty at all. It's really good. Actually, we're at peak mental capacity. I don't know about that. Yeah, of course. Teach their own. What do you want, Carrot? Hi, Ken. Welcome in. Stop. Cute. Hey, it's Carrot Drops. I have stepped away from this bit. Nothing went. Okay. You standing still. That's a cute emote. Go heat up chicken strips. Oh god, I had chicken nuggets for dinner. I only ate. I ate a few. They weren't good. I don't know. I wasn't surprised. Like a lot of the time they can be like really good, but I mean there's shit regardless. But you know what I mean. Yeah, not this time. Not this time. Let's see. Ribs and green beans. Yum. Yum. Chips and salsa because I was too lazy to make actual food. I mean, sometimes when you're craving that, like, I mean, it's not an actual meal, but you know, I get it. I do get it. I love taco night. I love taco night so much. Tacos. Oh, taco. Tacos are the best. Let's see. I do. I love to cook. I sure do. Okay, no, I'm not that person. I really like to cook, but baking is really where it's at. From how little I've had acidic foods and drinks to make me start to dislike them now. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I did change my model. This is a new. Oh, oh, Yogi, what? Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yogi. Hi, Yogi. And yes, this is a new model, a new customizable, blah, 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 blah. A new customizable. And I also showed a new. Yeah, it is. It is the second hype train. Holy shit. Aw, thank you. I'm still working on her. Like I'm still, like I got impatient. I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, I knew custom my blah 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 blah. Yeah. Cool, Bob. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I wanted to show y'all. And then earlier at the beginning of stream, I showed off a new chibi customizable too. And then, like I said, and this was also mentioned early on, but my actual character art, my reference art that I commissioned hopefully should be ready tomorrow or the next day. I think tomorrow. Wash your fucking dishes. Go do the thing. Yeah, I bought a chibi. I did. Well, what I'm saying, I like the old model's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. This is options are options. Shadow, thank you so much for the one gifted. Thank you so much. I never got the live notification, but I realized I was asleep. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Y'all push us into a fucking level 4 hype train, please. I need a new sub goal. Oh, goodness. I turned on my dishwasher before stream even started. You see those dishes? No. Food. No. Okay, good. I really like the old one. Yeah. Yeah, she's not going anywhere. But I like having another model. So like, so my big thing was I wanted to, I love the amount of options for the outfit. Cause look, I'll show y'all before we go back to searching for, for somewhere to go, somewhere to drop the kids off, but look at this outfit. Look at how cute this outfit is. And my head doesn't look weird and it doesn't float off. Excuse me. It's not floating off or anything. Look at the necklace. Look at the necklace. Like, look at the Joker. She has little spikes. She has spikes. Are you calling kids? We don't need it. Okay. Yeah. But like, yeah, my big thing was I wanted an outfit. I wanted a model where I could actually play with outfits more. Thought that was a bell. Yeah. Well, my regular one has a bell, and I can put a bell on her, but Ninja, please. But the outfit's so cute. Look up there. Look at the shoes. Look at the socks and the leg warmers. Please. Are you kidding me? Like, how cute is that? It's so cute. I know. I really like it. It's the most important piece of the puzzle. Yeah, thank you, Luna. Can Dream be added? Yeah, of course. Dreamy can be added. Yeah. I swear to God, you guys on this Dolan shit. Yeah, all the models we can take the heads off of them. If I were the girl who dressed like that, I'd be protecting her the whole time and be out. This is cute. This is really cute. Nice. Nice shoes. You can finally ride on the big people rides at park. Now you need to learn how to juggle the heads. Okay. Let's focus. Place your head with the chippy one. I mean, it commands respect and admiration. Oh, goodness. Who's this person? Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna find someone. Someone cute, someone sweet to pass the kids along to. Don't tell me it's raid time already. You see that time right there? That's the time we usually end. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't been a kid for a long time. 1 more hour is wild. Oh, I see the bunny cat's on. Cute little bunny cat. Kumite, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing good. Exclamation what Carrot said. Oh, it's okay. Please don't stay longer than you're comfortable. No, of course. I didn't. Yeah, she did. I see that. I think we're going to have to go say hi. I sure do believe. She's in a trigger right now. Yeah, she's in the middle of a trigger right now, so this will be a nice little surprise. Alright, let's see. Let's start that up. Too late already fishing. The ankle biter calling his skin.